What's up everybody, Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man issue number 1 by J.J. Abrams and Henry Abrams. But before I get into that, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell, and all of that good stuff. So, Spider-Man issue number 1. Now this is a brand new mini-series that is being written by J.J. Abrams along with his son Henry Abrams, and the art is done by Sarah Pichelli. I honestly don't know. I could be. I'm probably jacking up her last name. I'm quite for sure. Now the colorist on here is Dave Stewart, and the inking assistant is Elisabetta D'Amico, along with the letterer is VC's Joe Caramagna. You can see all those names right there. Again, I'm sure I butchered some of those names. I do greatly apologize. Now, like I said, this is a new series. It is going to be just a mini series, and I gotta tell you, I wasn't too excited when this book was announced. You know, I think a lot of us out there probably weren't too excited, kind of like, okay, J.J. Abrams, he's coming in to write a comic book with his son, so essentially he's just getting his son a job and getting him into these comic books. And if you go back and watching my videos, I wasn't too excited, especially at the time, because at the time there was a lot of Spider-Man books out there, a lot of Spider titles coming out. Like I did a video about it called The Saturated Spider-Man. It was getting kind of ridiculous, but I went ahead and picked this up. You know, we all talk a lot and everything. I went ahead and picked up this first issue, and I got to tell you guys, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Now there's, obviously we get a pretty good introduction into the story here. Something pretty major happens right at the beginning, and then we see that Peter's got a son, and we start to see his son going through the course of his day at school, and just the average everyday life of a teenage boy. Because the story starts at, with the one scene, something major happens, and then fast forward 12 years later, Peter Parker has a son, and what we see here is his son's getting into trouble. He's staying with Aunt May. Peter isn't really around to be there and be a father to his son. I mean, if I'm a father myself, if you're a father out there, it's pretty important. As not even just for the kids' development, but also being a father. I mean, there's something a lot to be said there, which I'm not sure how much I liked how they handled that in this story. Just that they were split up. Just Peter's kind of ditching out on his responsibilities here, but he is still somewhat taking care of him, as we see throughout this story. But altogether, I mean, I thought this issue was pretty good, pretty dramatic. It was pretty dramatic, some of the things that happened, and just what goes on in the story. And that Aunt May has been through quite a bit. We do see her in this issue as well. She's been through quite a bit, and kind of like I said, young Ben Parker is there staying with Aunt May, and she's there, I guess, as that shoulder that he can not necessarily cry on, but that person that he can come to for advice and talk to. She's been through it all before, and I guess you could say she kind of helps guide Ben in this first book, and that's kind of all we really get here. I don't want to give too much away unless you guys want me to. Altogether, I gotta say, this was not a bad first issue. We got introduced to our characters and all that kinds of stuff. Now, the thing is if you've never read Spider-Man before, you're probably expected to know at least a little bit about Peter Parker and his life and the people in his life. So, there is some of that kinds of stuff, and I think that just comes with, like, the territory of writing a book about an established character. There's probably at least a little bit that they assume that because other than that, here in the beginning, there's not really any kind of introduction or anything. That's pretty much what we see on the introduction page, and if you guys looked close enough there, you can see what that is. And most of the comic books, they start with a little introduction, tell you like Peter Parker was a teenager bitten by a radioactive spider, and all. There was none of that. Now The interesting thing is because we see it's about Peter Parker, but the title here for this series, and I'm guessing that's going to be the title for the whole series here, is Bloodline. Okay, so that in itself kind of will kind of clue you in on some of the things that it's going on in the story. like I said, you see that Peter's son is obviously has some sort of powers, and obviously he got him from his father, Peter Parker, and that's gonna be something that's definitely interesting moving forward in the story. As we know, it's Peter Parker's son. Aunt May's there helping take care of him, help mentoring him, and his mother is Mary Jane Watson. So we all know, we all know that Mary Jane's she's been through the ringer through her life, with Peter Parker as well. So obviously, enough that they had a kid together, and that's one of the interesting things about this book that I think that I liked. Even though like this book I don't know, it's really hard. Like the setup, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like I was kind of happy to read it, but I also kind of feel like I'm going to reserve some of my overall excitement for a later time. But and that's just because we've had so much Spider-Man coming out here lately. It's like it's kind of been oversaturated, and I understand that when you got something good, you run with it, right? I mean, I think we would all probably do the same thing if we were Marvel and we had these characters and things like that. But altogether, the one thing I do like is that they are putting a new twist on this Peter Parker Spider-Man character, just kind of giving it not necessarily breathing new life into it, but we are getting a somewhat new story for Peter Parker. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the art here in this book. I didn't think that it wasn't too bad, but again, we don't get like a whole lot of action throughout this first book. You can see some of the art there. Pretty good art. Like the coloring in this book as well. It all plays well. I'm not really sure quite how to take this one. We see Peter Parker's making a new friend here, and it just kind of makes you wonder what's going on here. Or I guess Ben Parker. I said Peter, didn't I? I guess that's what I'm so used to when I'm reading my Spider-Man comic books, and that's why I say, it's got something a little bit different, maybe a little bit different twist on what on all the normal Spider-Man titles that we've been having out there, especially as of lately. So I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good issue, and I can't wait to read issue number 2. Hopefully, it gives us a lot more here. Like I said, there was a pretty good setup here. The story, it was set up in the right way to make you want more. But that's all I've got for this review today. Let me know down in the comments below, though. Have you guys read this new Spider-Man series being written by JJ and his son Henry? And if so, what did you think about it? But, like I said, honestly, I thought it was good. Maybe it's something that you definitely need to check out if you are curious for yourself to see if this was any good. But that's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you're not already, please make sure you're subscribed. Click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I have uploaded new content or anytime I plan on doing a live video. If you could also do me another favor, make sure that you give this video a like or give it a thumbs down. It's all good. I really don't care. But most of all, make sure you leave a comment down in the comments section and interact. And most importantly, make sure that you share this video with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Happy reading, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.